everybody, welcome back to Hit or Miss Hallmark Movie Reviews. I'm Daniela.
And I'm John. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And click the little bell to receive notifications every time we upload a new video.
Every time.
Every single time. Today we are reviewing
Dating the
Delaneys. This is part of Hallmark's Fall Into Love programming.
Are you falling into love with it?
I'm starting to. I am starting to. And now the weather is actually starting to change, so it's actually a little bit more fitting.
I blame Hallmark.
This stars, one of our all-time
favorites, Paul Campbell.
Paul Campbell.
Can't do no wrong.
Love him. And of course, a Hallmark OG, Rachel Boston.
Yeah, I quite like her. I don't really remember her in any other movie other than...
Oh, she's in one of my favorite Christmas ones, High School Christmas Reunion.
Oh, yeah.
It was so bad, but it was actually so good.
But she's got a good familiar face. And
yeah, she's great. She's very natural.
Yeah, she was great.
So,
what's this one about?
Maggie, played by Rachel Boston, is a divorced mom of 2 teenagers. She learns that her mom has started dating, her daughter has a crush, and her ex-husband is now engaged to be married. Feeling a bit stuck and unable to move on, she eventually decides to start dating again. However, after a failed blind date, she starts to go on pretend dates as a form of practice with her widowed friend, Michael, played by Paul Campbell. Michael also volunteers his public relations expertise so Maggie can prepare for her upcoming television interview on a local program spotlighting her bakery, Sweet Sensations. As Maggie and Michael spend more and more time together, it's clear that their feelings for each other are growing into something more romantic. Love is in the air.
Things don't grow in the fall.
So what do we think here?
I really like this one. I thought it had great writing. All the performances were pretty good, and it felt at home in the Hallmark universe and didn't push any, unheard of boundaries for sure.
I was super excited for this one, mainly because of the cast, first and foremost. We obviously love Paul and Rachel together, so this was a very exciting premiere for us. So for me, I think this took just a little while to get into, so the pacing was just slightly off for me in the beginning. But once the ball started rolling and they started going on these kind of pretend dates, I started to really like it. And I thought, this is just very sweet, it's fun. It was just really enjoyable. I laughed a lot. I got emotional in certain parts. I rolled my eyes at all the dad jokes.
Yeah, pretty much all of them.
It was exactly what it set out to be, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I agree as well, but I disagree about the pacing because I feel like that was, the first 20 minutes up until the first commercial is pretty important, and I think they needed to, have some character backstory and family. You need to get to know both families. And
it didn't grab me right away,
and
to be
both
honest.
Exes, and it's there's a lot to...
Yeah. No, I don't know. It just didn't grab me right away until they actually went on that date. Every time Paul Campbell is on screen, I'm just a lot happier. More cowbell, more Paul Campbell.
I think that's the only thing about the first 20 minutes is there's not a lot of Paul Campbell.
There's not a lot, and I was saying that. Where's Paul Campbell? He's not on the screen enough.
Yeah, you gotta build up to it.
Yeah, so I was super happy when he started to make more of an appearance. And I think Rachel and Paul together, I just think they're very, very cute.
Yeah, they feel very natural. And I like that they were both playing, closer to 40-somethings, and, they talked about that in the movie. They both have kids, but their kids are definitely not teenagers.
In real life.
Yeah. I think Rachel Boston just had a kid.
I think so.
Paul Campbell was making a post about it saying, welcome to this.
Welcome to parenthood.
Yeah.
Your life has changed forever. I thought the chemistry between them was really great. I think it's great to see them together on screen. They have great banter. They're funny, they're sweet. They seem just very real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are a few particular scenes that I absolutely loved. I loved the Chinese food scene. It was so good and so real. It was the first time I got a little pang in my heart.
Really?
Yeah.
The Chinese food.
The Chinese food
did it
scene. I don't want to give too much away. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Because that's something really special that someone does for someone that they like. And it's just a sweet gesture.
You mean like I did for you on our first date?
Yes. Maybe that's why I got a little emotional about it. It was just really sweet and I loved it. I also really loved Maggie's first blind date. That was hilarious.
What, the guy that was just eating the bread?
Yeah, and on his phone the whole time. And then who really stole that scene was the waiter.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
You need to get out of here.
You need to leave. I was like, oh my God, that was really funny.
It caught
me off guard and I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was great. Another thing I really liked is that the focus wasn't just on Maggie and Michael, so we're actually navigating 3 different relationships in this movie. So there's her teenage daughter, which actually wasn't my fave, but I understood the need for it. But you ended up really liking that one.
I did. I thought, you know, initially it was awkward, but I think that's what they were trying to convey is that, like, you know, dating is awkward when you're a teenager, and it's awkward again
Always
when
awkward.
you're, you know, when 20 years later when you're divorced.
Yeah, and that's what I liked. I liked seeing like 3 generations of women explore, you know, like the highs and lows of like modern dating, right?
Yeah.
They learn and relearn that romance can happen at any age. Relationships can happen at any age. Does it always work out? Definitely not. Are there disasters? Definitely.
And it doesn't matter what your age, you can have your blinders on and not know that the perfect guy is right under your nose.
I mean, you know, I always get, like, how can Maggie not have picked up sooner
I think
that Michael was into her?
I think that's the only drama they could inject into their relationship, which, going back to the teen couples, I thought that was, you know, they were able to use that for the drama, because there was never going to be much drama with Maggie and Michael, because, you know, they're adults and they already gone through all this. He already lost his
So the
wife.
only,
There's nothing
the
like
only drama that
important.
they could put in is that she didn't catch on a lot.
Exactly.
She was
There's
still kind of
that,
just
and
friends.
then chatting with her daughter's dating experiences and it being the same thing.
They mirrored,
I was like,
yeah.
That was very well written, I thought.
The relationships kind of mirrored each other at different stages in life, which was kind of cool. I get it. It's a narrative device.
And then
which
technically
works.
there was relationships with deadbeat Zoop.
Oh my gosh. The ex-husband, the father that is never there.
Yeah,
You know, he played it well.
He played a good vacant father.
Yeah. Can we talk about that chocolate bacon cake?
Chocolate bacon cake.
I mean,
Oh my God.
that
both
was a
the cakes,
standout.
yeah, it was. I mean, I want to try
And
something
both
like that.
cakes, the pecan pie cake.
The chocolate pecan cake looked awesome.
It wasn't chocolate pecan.
It wasn't?
I don't think so. It was pecan pie cake.
Oh, okay. Well, I loved
And then
the
chocolate
little
bacon
ombre
cake.
thing they had in the different layers. I was like, that cake looks amazing.
The food looked amazing, and all the desserts, because she owns a bakery, so all the desserts looked amazing. The slices of that chocolate bacon cake were like towers. Are you my salad soulmate?
Do I make good salads for you?
You do.
Then
So I think I found my salad
I
soulmate.
suppose I am. That's ridiculous.
Oh my god, it's kind of funny.
There should be a carnivore app, like just meat eaters.
Well, that's us too, for sure. What do we talk about performances here? Both leads are great here.
Yeah, obviously, if I'm gonna pick one, it's gonna be Paul Campbell
Me
because
too.
I don't think he can do any wrong.
Neither do I. I just love seeing him on screen. I can't help but, like, he's just always the standout for me. He's sweet.
He's the Rock. He's the Rock, not Dwayne Johnson. He always comes up and everything. But he's like
true.
my Hallmark male actor Rock. Like I can always count on him to give a good performance. He doesn't rely
Yeah.
on being
Very
cool or
dependable.
anything else. He's just always him, and
He's-
it's just perfect.
He's
for me.
adorable. He's kind of like nerdy, kind of dorky, but in like a really, really charming kind of way. And what I loved in this particular movie is he wasn't overbearing at all. He didn't constantly reach out to her. He played it cool, even though he really liked her.
Yeah,
but he
but
was
he-
still sweet and cute, and he didn't hide his feelings for her, but he just like let her do her thing. Let her experience what she wants to experience.
Yeah,
But you know what, I respected that.
it was a nice balance because you know he was trying to get back into the dating thing as well.
Yeah, he wasn't being clingy or too attached to her, even though he really liked her, which I loved. He's awesome. We love you, Paul. Come on the show.
We love you, Paul.
Okay, and another performance that kind of stood out here, surprisingly, was Steve, the date that she goes on. Not a blind date.
played
but-
by Casey Manderson. I think he was in
Hilarious.
Mingle All the Way or something.
Yeah.
He was surprisingly funny. I don't know if he was supposed to be this funny or if he was just trying to portray a pretentious douche so well.
So
that
pretentious, so snobby.
Wow.
But so like, kind of creepy as well. Like he walked this line that was somewhere between like Frasier and Hannibal. And
Yes.
You can't tell which way it is. I wanted to take one of the scenes and just put some horror music to it.
Yeah,
See what
he
it
was
looked like, 'cause
creepy.
I have to admit, I was a little intimidated by your profile, you being a doctor and all. Still, I suppose when you saw my occupation, software engineer, you must have thought, how incredibly boring.
No, actually, I just thought dork.
It was very like unexpected humor that was injected into the movie. I was more like he's like Mr. Robot or like American Psycho, like mixed into one.
There's definitely an American Psycho thing too.
So funny. He was. Or you also said he was like a Vulcan.
Oh yeah, he's basically Spock. Yeah.
Great comic relief.
The dates in general were kind of great comic relief, I guess. And
Yeah.
I find usually with these movies where it's like, oh, it was your best friend the entire time, that the dates are usually supposed to be pretty tragic or funny.
Yeah. So let's get a little bit nitpicky, but our nitpickies aren't too negative, maybe one negative, but we loved all the puns and all the dad jokes, and some of the lines were great, like, your husband is here.
Husband, I've never heard, and I was like, that actually made me laugh. All the rest of the dad jokes didn't really land. I liked that they used it as a writing device to connect Maggie and Michael, and as well her daughter and new kid.
Yeah.
Which I thought was
I really liked A Wheelie Good Time. I mean, that was so corny and cheesy, but I loved it.
Yeah, and you know, they packed it full of mom and dad jokes.
Loved it. It worked, right?
It worked. Even
Even if you're rolling your eyes, it's still fun.
Yeah,
I love
rolling your
fun.
eyes is a reaction, right?
Yeah. So one thing I didn't like, and I noticed it right off the bat, I found it very distracting, was the daughter's voice.
I don't know what's more embarrassing, you knowing about Zach or being in a freshman basketball game.
It's just like too much ADR. I mean, the whole thing was ADR'd. I think she was a bit of a mumbler.
Yeah, but I feel like that's what, because it got better.
It got better.
I feel like she was initially directed to be kind of like moody, mumbly teenager. I mean, I can relate.
You mumble too. I found it very distracting. But the ADR is what I found distracting. Like they didn't mix it in well or something. I don't know.
Yeah, at least in the beginning.
In the beginning.
It did end up getting better.
But her first like 5 scenes, I thought that.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty technical nitpicky that we're picking up on. But anyway, just an observation.
I mean, if there's other technical nitpickies, I noticed that like all the scenes were very bright, but it was nice. It looks great. There's a lot of good like
sun glares.
A lot of good bokeh and stuff in those.
It looks pretty though.
But it's like whenever you saw a window or somebody standing in front of a window, it was like they were standing in front of heaven. It was like,
yeah, that's true. It can get a bit much if you overuse those things.
I think we're also just going through editing, so now we're just like
we're in editing phase, so we're just picking up on a lot of those kind of technical details. Anyway, let's talk about the writer and director. So the writer here is Jennifer Barrow. Some other writing credits include A Kindred Christmas, Sun, Sand, and Romance, and Dater's Handbook with Meghan Markle.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Pre-Duchess.
I liked the writing in this one. It was
writing was
rather
great.
good.
It wasn't, it was good.
Yeah, it wasn't over the top.
Great,
It just, I feel like it was a well-rounded script that didn't need to change a lot. Like sometimes you can tell when it's like, this went exactly how they wrote it.
Yeah. I mean, much better than the train wreck that we watched the week before.
The week before.
Yeah. The director here is Alan Harmon. Some other writing credits include Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater. We love that one. Jingle Bell Bride, Mingle All the Way.
Oh, these are
Another
all
connection there. Yeah. That's probably why he hired Steve.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you gotta get Casey Manderson. He can do this guy.
He can do pretentious creep pretty well. So was this a hit or miss?
It's a hit for me.
It's a hit for me too.
I would almost bet everything in my soul that I don't think I'm ever gonna have a Paul Campbell movie be a miss.
I haven't seen one yet,
That's
to be
a lot
honest.
to live up to, I guess, but I just don't ever see it happening. Or one that he's involved in, writing-wise.
Yeah, because he had a cameo in Love Classified, and I loved Love Classified, and I loved him in Love Classified, even though he just played like the bartender.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what he does. Even
He's
if
great.
he's set dresser for some reason. Like.
Love him.
All right, let's get to the Hallmark report card.
Let's do it. Promotion or deadline? No.
Oh, career-driven lead.
Yes, I would say so. She owns her own business.
Yeah.
A big misunderstanding. Yes? Is it? No, not really. No, I'm gonna say no.
I feel like there was one. When I was watching, there was one. I just don't remember.
She just didn't pick up on the fact that he liked her. You know?
Yeah,
It wasn't
that's
a big
not. That doesn't count.
So let's say no.
No. A change of heart. Absolutely.
Yeah.
A few of those.
Someone gets dumped, fired, or dies? Definitely. I mean, the blind date, literally.
Yeah,
got
there's a
dumped
couple.
on
There's
the
a
date.
couple dumps.
Couple dumps.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Second romance subplot.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there's 3.
Second and third.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, 4 if you count the
4 and
ex-husband.
the grandma.
No, the ex-husband. So, Maggie and Michael,
Yeah.
her daughter and her crush, the grandma and the neighbor guy, and the ex-husband and the wife. So that's 4 couples. A proposal or wedding? Yes.
Yeah, right.
A wedding at the end. Which is
I mean,
nice.
we always knew there was going to be a wedding. I like how they kind of left that out of the writing, and it was just something that, like, I want to be the guy that comes to the wedding with you. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Travel issues.
I mean, the husband has to travel for work all the time, which is why he's never with the kids. It's getting really meta. So no, let's say no. Selling the house, business, or farm? No.
Big city to small town transition? No.
No. The almost kiss. We did have one with the teenagers. So that was all right.
That was nice. The teen subplot sort of carried a lot of the normal Hallmark stuff you want to see.
Yeah.
Which I thought was nice. Mad Dash to the airport, go get her. No.
No.
Maybe Mad dashes and shows up to her
Screening party.
But yeah.
No, it was very realistic.
Even the drama there, it's like, oh, is he not going to show up? And it's like, no, there's no way they can do that.
Of course he's going to show up.
Like,
He's a solid guy.
Exactly.
He's going to show up. Yeah. So yeah, this is definitely worth a watch, guys. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Fall Into Programming was starting off badly, in our opinion, but it's definitely redeemed itself. Paul, Rachel are great.
Thank you, Paul and Rachel.
Thank you. And yeah, give this a go. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments below.
Yeah, did it hit or miss the Hallmark for you?
Let us know, guys. Until next time.
Bye.